Hi, I'm Caitlin and I'm here with FuseFM, and tonight I'm joined by O at Yes Basement ahead of their gig. So I'm joined by Tash and Joe, and my first question is, how are you guys feeling ahead of your show tonight?
We're excited.
Yep.
We love this venue. Yes, it's so cool and does really great food.
Yeah.
So double win for us.
We've got the food down here.
We've got the food. I'm eyeing up the food right now.
Because you guys have been here before, right? You've been here for your set at Psych Fest a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
How was that? How did you guys get on with Manchester crowds?
Awesome. Yeah, wicked.
Nice.
And we played in Manchester in 2021, supporting Black Midi at the Ritz. Is that what it's called? Is that what it's called? The big venue?
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was good.
Yeah. That must, because that was quite early on in your kind of like touring career. Like, how was it to play at like such a big venue?
It was terrifying.
Most nervous we've
It
ever
was
been.
like,
yeah.
you know, like I didn't know my kneecaps could shake.
Yeah.
Until that gig. No, it was like our third ever gig. So I feel like, and that was my first ever gig in Manchester. So it feels like a special place for us just because that was such like a starting point really for the band. And
amazing, yeah. So we're about halfway through your Slice tour at the moment. Are there any venues that have surprised you at all, or any like you found particularly had like a good reaction from?
They're all wicked. Like we could big them all up. Last night in Leeds was not what I was expecting because Hyde Park Book Club has a really cool cafe stage, and I thought we were playing that, but it turns out they've got this like gnarly, like grungy basement, and that's where we were, and that was really cool, which we were into. Goes with the music.
Yeah, Dublin was very cool.
Yeah,
Dublin
that was sick.
Workman's Club, which like is just.
That's a great venue. Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there once. Yeah.
It's so cool. It's like I don't know what you describe their like decor style as.
It's kind of speakeasy vibes.
Speakeasy, like a bit spooky. But,
it's kind of like a mixture, yeah. But this tour marks the official release of your Slice EP. It's had a great reception so far, but I kind of wanted to ask like what your main musical influences are.
We've got like a huge mix.
Okay.
I think we both share quite a lot of like rock influences. I'm obsessed with Radiohead. Joe really loves like Deftones, Rage Against the Machine. So that's a big connection point. But so's kind of hip hop. My favourite drummers are all hip hop drummers, like Kareem Riggins, Jay Dilla, Tribe Called Quest. So there's a huge range of stuff. Anything I missed?
Yeah, like electronic music.
Yep.
Floating Points, Flying Lotus. Even like kind of more mainstream dance music, Disclosure. Old school. A big one for me is like old school dubstep, like early dubstep, Burial, LV, Marla.
That's an amazing range, yeah. So what kind of like inspires your songwriting process? Like when you sit down to try and write a song, how do you bring all these influences in?
We do a lot of jamming, basically. We've got a really cool studio in Peckham that luckily we can just go to and like play for hours. We both kind of come from a background of doing quite a lot of improvisation, so that kind of comes naturally to us, but then we kind of come up with the ideas and then try and make them into songs as opposed to just like big jam sessions.
Yeah. Was there anything about like the lockdown that kind of had an impact on your writing as well? Because I know that's kind of when you guys kind of emerged.
Yeah, I think the whole thing started out of the freedom of having a lot of time on our hands and no real idea of when we were going to work as professional musicians again. So we started making music with each other without any kind of pretense of like, this is a band, this is going to be whatever. We just made music every day and then really, really enjoyed it. And then I think we kind of keep that energy going while, you know, turn it into a gigging and recording outfit or whatever.
Amazing, yeah. So you're a South London-based band. Is this an area you both grew up in, or is this?
No, we both kind of outside of London. You north up in Leicester, me west out near Oxford, but have both lived there for a while. I don't know, 10 years or something. Yeah. So
being signed to like Speedy Wonderground, and obviously you played like the Windmill a lot. Do you feel kind of connected to that South London like post-punky scene, and like how does it influence your sound?
Yeah, I think definitely. We owe a lot of our like kind of the way we play to that scene. Like we learned so much from Black Midi, who obviously like came up through that scene as well. And the Windmills, what really started our band. And I think there's just like everyone kind of who's associated with that scene, I think, has quite a experimental perspective on genres in particular. So we felt quite at home there because we didn't know what to call our music. We had someone on stage the other night, like someone from the crowd shout up and be like, "What do you call this type of music?" And we're like, "We have no idea."
What would you describe it as if you had to?
What did we say? You came up with a
I
good
mean, I
one.
just start listing genres: rock, dub, electronica,
Start listening till they get tired.
hip hop, like
Some
definitely
type
hip hop.
of- yeah.
And
Do
we
you guys kind of consider yourself... Sorry, carry on.
well, yeah, we kind of say that the music we're playing isn't that strange, but the instrumentation is what makes it quite unusual, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but you know, yeah, I think, and then we do get kind of cool jazz because I'm playing the saxophone mainly, and I think some of the compositions can sound quite improvised and flowing, but actually quite written, but we don't think of it like we're playing jazz music.
Yeah.
We think of it like this is a rock song, this is a dub tune.
Because I was wondering if you consider yourselves part of that kind of... obviously, like, the bands on Speedy Underground, they're very kind of like post-punky. I've heard it described as like crankwave. Do you guys consider yourself part of that like genre, or is it just kind of like the scene you're more connected to?
I don't know. What do we get called a lot as well? We get called like kraut rock.
Oh yeah.
Which I'd actually like never heard of before we started.
Which is
getting
like,
into it.
stoner. I mean, it's psychedelic as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I feel a real connection to the scene in particular and the people within the scene.
Mm.
Sometimes more, I think that's more of a natural connection than the like genre thing.
Because I wanted to ask about your experience on tour with Black Midi a couple of years ago. Obviously, I kind of gathered you guys are like fans of their music. Were there any highlights on that tour?
To be honest, like the whole.
We were pretty buzzing the whole time.
Yeah, we went out. We did like 2 legs with them.
I
The
think-
whole. Sorry, go on.
No, you.
The whole of the first leg, we were like pinching ourselves, being like, we just started this band, like, and now we're in Paris with Black Midi, and they're just like so amazingly playful on stage. They're like incredible musicians, but they have like a approach to like playing live, which we loved because we were like, oh, we can like take more risks, we can like have more fun with it. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, you said Paris. I was going to say the first time, because then it was also like our first gig in Europe, and incredible venue in Paris. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's a big Spiegel tent. It's a big circular tent. It was just epic. That was just, very cool.
Amazing, yeah. So one of my last questions, I wanted to ask about your artwork and design, specifically with like the Slice video. I wanted to ask about like your inspirations, like who does the artwork?
So the kind of like our logos that we have, I just did those years ago. They've kind of stuck with us. The Slice music video is like my favourite thing ever, and that's by a friend of ours, an amazing Ukrainian artist who we met kind of gigging around Europe last year. She's got this like really gnarly like creative illustration and animation style. So that was an easy fit for us on that music video because we were like, this is what the music kind of feels like it should go with.
Yeah, it's so much fun because I was wondering if there's any link to the kind of like cake motif, like in the animation, and obviously like with the Slice like title of the EP.
Where did Slice come from in the first place?
We both like sugary foods quite a lot. You don't actually like
I
cake
actually
that
really
much,
like cake, no.
but we wanted everything to be colourful and bright because although the music's dark and heavy, that's not really like how we kind of dress and stuff as much or whatever. I don't know. We just didn't want to like pretend to be like, So we kind of went the other way, and then that kind of led us into confectionery, right? And then we liked the name Slice, and then we ended up with the cake. And then we said to Yev, the animator for the video, we said the premise was someone eats a slice of cake and trips balls, and then that's the video, and so that's what she did.
Amazing, yeah. So finally, after this tour, what are your plans for the future? Is there an album on the cards, or any festivals you've got lined up this summer?
Yes.
So yes. There's an album coming out the first single of which is out on March the 5th now.
Yeah.
March the 5th. And that's going to start kind of the album campaign. And we're so excited for the album to come out because it's a lot darker and a lot heavier than the EP.
Amazing.
And it's got quite a lot of our like new favourite tracks on it, so I'm very excited.
And then we're playing back here for Manchester Psych Fest in August, something, I'm not sure. And then some other cool festivals as well, around the UK and Europe. We're going to play at South by Southwest in Austin after the end of this tour, which is going to be cool. Yeah.
It's a really exciting time for you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy your set tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.